Amit, first of all, thank you for joining me here and for sparing time on a Sunday noon, which is primarily a family time. So I can, so it's a double thanks to you for sparing time in this particular hour.
And so I've already done 2 calls, 2 interviews,
okay.
and a couple of calls and interviews are still there. So I keep Saturday, Sunday for calls and interviews, and for that
Great.
Stuff I'm not able to do in the weekdays.
Great. That's great. I know how an entrepreneur thinks and how he absolutely. So Amit, I think let's start with you only, and I would like to understand that on your journey. I've been going through your LinkedIn profile and other things available on the Google and on the internet. You've been into a hardcore entrepreneur, started various ventures. Zimmer was your first, I think, one of the longest story in terms of your own entrepreneurship journey. Then you worked with Quikr also. We worked with Avenue Growth, and now this MSMEX.
Cool. So I think that's very interesting. I've never been asked this question in this way, that you are asking me to acknowledge. So a lot of people have asked me my journey, but you are asking one additional thing. You are asking me to acknowledge the important people on my journey.
Absolutely.
Cool. So I will do that. So it starts, the first important milestone was my 10th class.
Okay.
When I got 2nd division in my UP board, and in UP board 2nd division is considered to be really bad, because the UP board में भी तुम 2nd division लेके आए. Not bad. And there was only one subject where I got 100% marks in that 2nd division as well, was maths.
Right.
So I got my 100 out of 100 in maths, but then I went forward. I left studies in 11th class.
Okay.
I decided that I'm not going to study it further. I left, and my parents were shocked. They asked, "What will you do? We are not coming with a paternal property. We don't have a family business. What will you do?" I said, "I don't know." But one thing was clear, that I was always like, if I don't have clarity, I will not do that. Whatever is the implication. I didn't have a clarity why I'm doing this, so I stopped studying. Then first important person came to my life was one of my father's friend. I call them Taudi. His name is Mr. Rakesh Sharma. He came to my home, and then my family was like all shattered के बच्चे ने पढ़ाई छोड़ दी है. And then he talked to me. भाई क्या हुआ? क्यों पढ़ाई छोड़ दी? ऐसे मेरा मन नहीं लगता. क्यों नहीं मन लगता? मुझे मजा नहीं आता. मुझे टीचर भी टीज करते हैं, मुझे बच्चे भी टीज करते हैं. मैं क्योंकि पढ़ने में उतना अच्छा नहीं हूँ, देन मुझे मजा नहीं आता. Said that, but तुम पढ़ने में अच्छे नहीं हो, ऐसा तो नहीं है. You are good at studies. You got good marks in maths. But said I didn't score overall good. All my friends, I am the only one who got 2nd division. Everyone, even my best friend was a topper in board. He got 15th rank in UP board. So that was the difference, my best friend is that and I'm 2nd division, there is no math.
Right.
Then he convinced me somehow. He said, okay, tell me a couple of your problems. And I said the biggest problem right now is because I have not been going to school for last 4 months. So उन्होंने मेरा नाम ही काट दिया है, तो अभी तो I'm not there in the school at all. He said, this is a small problem, I can solve this. But if I solve this problem, will you go to school? I said, ठीक है चलो. So then he went to the school because he was the principal of a school. So he had good connections. So he went to the school. He requested. And the same year, my grandfather expired, and I was very internally also was shattered.
Right.
So he went to the school. He made some decisions there. He used his network, and somehow he made sure that I'm back to the school.
Right.
I was back to the school. It was just a month before the final exam. Obviously, you cannot do magic in 1 month. I passed all the exams except chemistry. I failed.
Okay.
But that year, not only I was failed, maximum students were failed, because in UP board there is a culture of preparing for IIT, and most of these kids, they were preparing for IIT, and I was not preparing for anything. But जैसा अभी इस साल हुआ ना, बहुत सारे लोग बोर्ड एग्जाम पास हो गए because मोदी जी ने पास करा दिया सबको. इसी तरह से 11th क्लास में बहुत सारे लोग पास हुए थे. I was one of them. So I also passed.
Right.
Grace. And that was the day when I was like shattered. कि यार मैं fail तो कभी नहीं हुआ था. It's okay, I'm not good at studies, but मैं fail तो कभी नहीं हुआ था. So that was a changing moment. I decided to change this perception. My father stopped talking to me. My mother stopped talking to me. I took it very deep inside my heart, and I decided कि यार अभी कुछ करना पड़ेगा. So I started studying hard. Now I know the physics, chemistry, maths की 6 किताब होती हैं बोर्ड में. फिजिक्स की मोटी सी किताब है, केमिस्ट्री की मोटी किताब है, इंग्लिश की 5 किताबें हैं, हिंदी की भी 6 किताबें हैं, संस्कृत. I was like कितना पढ़ेगा बच्चा, कितना पढ़ेगा. I started doing all that. I said कि ठीक है, let me go through one by one. And you will not believe, when I was doing my physics and chemistry and maths, I realized that I'm not able to do certain things because I was weak in 10th class fundamentals. So I took my 10th class books, and leaving 12th class, I studied 10th class. When I was going through 10th class books, I realized that I am also weak in 6th, 7th, 8th. So मैं अड़ोस पड़ोस के बच्चों के पास गया, सबसे 6ठी 7वीं 8वीं किताबें ले आया. And in my room, there were books from 6th class to 12th class.
Right.
And I only had 1 year.
Right.
I practically studied all the 6 years in 1 year. The result was, I didn't talk to my parents for the whole year. I stopped playing. I stopped going out. मेरठ की जून जुलाई की गर्मी, you know it. घर के ऊपर एक कमरा, उसमें टीन की एस्बेस्टस की छत, उसमें एक झूलता हुआ सा पंखा, और उसके थ्रू गर्मी आ रही है, 50 डिग्री टेम्परेचर है अंदर. It is becoming a sauna room, and still I am not bothered. I'm studying.
Right.
रात दिन बारिश, I don't know when I completed my first year. I appeared for board exams.
Right.
I got PCM distinction.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
God, that's a
From a second division to PCM distinction, and one of the top 5 in my class. I said,
great.
awesome.
Awesome.
That was the first time I talked to my father after that.
Right.
But then the conditions were not that great. I started preparing for. So one of my friend, he came to me and he said, this was the second friend who was the influencer in my life, named Saurabh Bhardwaj. Today he is an artificial intelligence professor in Thapar University. He was the second one who was the influencer. He came to me and said, अमित क्या कर रहा है? Because उसके मुझसे ज़्यादा मार्क्स आए थे 10th में, 12th में मेरे उससे ज़्यादा मार्क्स आ गए. And he was like कि ये क्या हुआ? So he said कि अमित क्या कर रहा है? मैंने कहा कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ. बोलता IIT की तैयारी करते हैं. And you will not believe, a kid like me who was in 12th class, he said, IIT क्या होता है? And he said, अरे यार इंजीनियरिंग की तैयारी करते हैं ना, तो चल साथ में. I said, कहाँ पे करेंगे? अरे मैं ML खन्ना के पास जाता हूँ, तू भी चल. I said, ML खन्ना कौन है? अरे वो मोटी सी किताब आती है ना IIT की, उसके राइटर हैं, मेरठ कॉलेज में पढ़ाते हैं, ML खन्ना कोचिंग कराते हैं. I said, ठीक है चलो चलते हैं. I went to ML खन्ना and I started preparing. 2 हफ्ते हुए थे. I was anyway good with maths. उसमें मुझे एक चीज़ बोली थी. I said कि सर आपकी फीस ज़्यादा है. उस ज़माने में शायद 200 रुपये फीस थी. I said आपकी फीस ज़्यादा है सर, मैं नहीं दे पाऊंगा. सर कितनी दे पाओगे? मैंने कहा ट्राई करता हूँ 100 रुपये. सर अच्छा, तुमको पहले महीने में 4 टेस्ट मिलेंगे. उन 4 टेस्ट में अगर तुमने अच्छे नंबर लाए तो तुम्हारी फीस 100 रुपये. ठीक है. 15 दिन हुए, पहले 2 टेस्ट हुए. I got 20 out of 20. I was like wow. 3rd week, 4th week आया, again got it. My fees was reduced. And I started preparing. इस दौरान मैंने खेलते कूदते डिप्लोमा का एग्जाम दे दिया था. उसका रिजल्ट आ गया पता नहीं कब मेरे को. And I got selected. And I got selected fortunately in DN Polytechnic, which was in Meerut.
Right.
My father said, go for it. I was like, मैं तो IIT की तैयारी कर रहा हूँ. He said, भाई मेरे को तेरे पे विश्वास नहीं है. तो somehow किसी तरीके से 12th में जो भी कुछ किया है, I don't know whether तुम IIT के लायक हो नहीं हो, but you should try what you have in hand. And he was less confident. I don't hold him responsible because I was responsible for it. I didn't do anything great so that he invest on me. So I said कि ठीक है. I left that. मेरे दोस्त ने मुझे बहुत समझाया कि अमित नहीं, तुमको तैयारी नहीं छोड़नी चाहिए. You will definitely go for something good. I said नहीं. मेरे फादर बोल रहे हैं कि तुम ये करो, और मेरे को भी लगता है कि मुझे ये करना चाहिए because ये. I entered into diploma. मेरठ में था तो it was easy for me. Started studying. That was a game changer another. So हमारे एक प्रोफेसर थे उसमें डिप्लोमा में, गुप्ता जी. He was the another person who influenced me. So Gupta ji was such a great, teacher that he was uh, explaining everything very practically, and that changed my perspective of studying. And I saw that स्कूल में जो पढ़ाई होती थी डिप्लोमा और इंजीनियरिंग में जाके पढ़ाई चेंज हो गई. एवरीथिंग इज प्रैक्टिकल, एवरीथिंग इज application based, and that started crafting my interest in studies a lot. First year I topped entire DN Polytechnic. Second year I topped entire DN Polytechnic. Third year I topped entire board of UP Technical Board. I got 93% marks, which was highest ever till date. आज तक मेरा रिकॉर्ड कोई नहीं तोड़ पाया. Till date, highest ever marks in UP Technical Board in diploma, and that too in a mechanical engineering. Maximum marks out of all the possible branches. I got that. I secured my gold medal. I got selected in Shriram Piston.
Okay.
They conducted one exam which was something like a technical or knowledge-based exam. I entered in that. I got a large shield and a transistor and lot more gifts and prizes from them, and they on the spot offered me a job. कि तुम आ जाओ. So I started working with Shriram Piston. Another person came to my life, Mr. Praveen Rellan, my first boss in my first job.
Right.
So I was in tool crib department and Shriram Piston में मैं piston manufacturing unit में था. तो वहाँ पे मैं piston जब turning होती है उनकी, तो उनके chips निकलते हैं. तो I used to collect the chips. मैं छोटी छोटी पुड़िया बना के chips collect करता था और लाके देखता था कि हर मशीन पे different type के chips कैसे आ रहे हैं, उनका क्या pattern आ रहा है, and then cutting tool mechanics and all that में I was deeply interested. And he told me that day कि अभी तुम क्या scientist की तरह क्या काम करते रहते हो, इतनी सारी पुड़िया बना के क्या देखते रहते हो. I said, I love this, I enjoy this. After a couple of months, he said, Amit, I'm not supposed to say this to you, but somewhere I see that you should go for higher studies, you should not stay here at the diploma level. I see a spark in you. And that one statement forced me again. Next हफ्ते से मैंने ऑफिस जाना बंद कर दिया. And I started preparing, exploring के मैं कहाँ से अब engineering कर सकता हूँ. So I got to know that after diploma, you can directly go to second year, so you can complete your engineering. I applied for UP Technical Board and then for Punjab. पंजाब का भी एग्जाम हुआ, UP Technical Board का भी एग्जाम हुआ. पंजाब का रिजल्ट पहले आ गया, बट इस दौरान मुझे रेलन सर का कॉल आया कि भाई तुम आ क्यों नहीं रहो ऑफिस. मैंने सर आप ही ने बोला था ना कि तुम्हारे अंदर स्पार्क है, तुम कुछ करने जाओगे. अरे भाई तुम रिजाइन तो कर देते. मैंने थोड़ा बोला था तुम ऑफिस बंद कर दो. You don't know what is the protocol. मैंने कहा नहीं सर मुझे नहीं पता है. Come to office, resign properly because this will become a challenge otherwise for you. You will be declared absconding. I said okay. So I went to there. I explained him. I told that I'm anyway got selected. He said fine, all the best. I went to Punjab. I was directly in the second year. 3 years I studied in Punjab. I topped all the branches there also, and finally got my gold medal in my engineering.
Wow.
Hello.
Yeah, great.
So I got my gold engineering. I completed that, and I even got my gold engineering through Dr. Kalam. He was president of India at that time. He was invited by PTU Jalandhar, and he awarded me the gold medal.
Wow.
And parallelly, I was very keen for higher studies. तो मुझे साइंटिस्ट बनने का कीड़ा जाग चुका था तब तक. मेरे रूम में 2 पोस्टर होते थे. आई एम गुड विद स्केचिंग. सो मेरे रूम में 2 पोस्टर होते थे हॉस्टल में. एक ऐश्वर्या राय का था और दूसरा डॉक्टर कलाम का था. एंड देयर वाज नो मैच.
What a unique combination.
Yeah, there was no combination. So Wings of Fire में उनका जो पोर्ट्रेट आता है, that portrait I sketched on a chart paper and pasted in my room. And so I aspired to become a scientist. I went for BRC interview. I cleared that. I came to Mumbai. I became a scientist. First 4 years I served Government of India. I served Government of India first 4 years. So there, so one more person I missed in between. There was our HOD in mechanical, Dr. Anand Vaz. He was from IIT Madras and he was our HOD. So he also changed one of my perspective. You know, I was studying mechatronics and robotics through him. And I was good in mechanical, but I was weak in electronics because in mechatronics you have to study both. So I was weak in electronics. So when he was teaching us microcontrollers, and the gate systems. So I was like, यार ये समझ नहीं आता है. So I told him, sir, I'm somehow weak in electronics. He said, this is in your head. I said, what does it mean? He said, suppose you are already a ranker guy, right? If rather than mechanical, if you would have taken electronics as a branch, so are you saying that you would have failed in that branch? I said, no. Then you would have passed that branch also, right? And the way I know you, you would have topped in that branch also. I said, yes. So forget that you are a mechanical engineer. When you are studying electronics, study electronics only. When you are studying computers, study computers only. Forget everything. Don't allow your head to constrain yourself. Tomorrow's world is going to be a single world where there is no mechanical, no chemical, no electronics, nothing. I said, wow, great thought. I started focusing on that. I did good in mechatronics. I did good in robotics as well. I was one of his favorite students, obviously. So after that, I came to BRC. I started working 4 years. Again, BRC was a game changer. Within first year only, I did very well there. I passed 120 exams in BRC because they ask you to study. So, you know, they force you in a kind of internal MTech in nuclear science. So 120 exams and 1 year of rigorous coaching. I was selected for a exchange program there in Russia. They sent me to Russia at a very young age. बच्चा ही था. I became a team lead of 10 engineers, and I was deputy to Russian Federation, sitting in front of the chief engineer. You know, coming to a Indo-Russian delegation where one side there is an Indian flag, and I'm part of that team, and then addressing that, and in front of me there are Russians who are the other side of delegation. So that kind of environment at a age when I was like 23, 24, it was pretty exciting for me. Spent almost 4 years. By that time I got married also, and then one day I decided कि अभी मुझे उधर job नहीं करना. So I couldn't understand the politics or the kind of dynamics of government job. There I was not able to fit somehow because there it was a lot of regionalism. कि तुम कोलकाता से हो तो तुम कोलकाता वालों की टीम में आ गए, तुम चेन्नई से हो तो तुम चेन्नई की टीम में आ गए, और इधर अनफॉर्चुनेटली यूपी वालों का कोई टीम ही नहीं था, तो हम तो कोई भी रोल नहीं करता था. तो आई रियलाइज दैट इट वाज नॉट गोइंग वेल. सो आई डिसाइडेड कि ये सब मुझसे नहीं होगा. आई थिंक आई एम मोर इनटू विड्थ रादर देन डेप्थ. आई लेट मी डू समथिंग एल्स. So I went for management institute entrances, and then I got through SP Jain. Joined SP Jain there, then went to completed SP Jain, and then SP Jain was another transformation. So there, I will not say any one professor, but yeah, there were a couple of professors there. I could see that the lens which I had earlier in front of me, that changed.
Okay.
They changed my lens. They showed me a helicopter view of everything. That was a transformation. And that day I realized that there is something different in a premier institute.
Right.
Any regular engineering, any regular MBA, and a premier institute MBA is totally different. That day I could see the quality of professors standing in front of us, the quality of veterans coming from industry and they are teaching, and the kind of perspective they bring in. My way of thinking changed. And that was the year when I was not running after being first. I was just running after what I want to do in life. उससे पहले मुझे चस्का लग गया था कि जहां भी मुझे जाना टॉप करना है, जहां भी मुझे जाना टॉप करना है. अभी that was a matter of pride now. But that was the year of SP Jain when I decided कि अभी मुझे टॉप नहीं करना है. अभी मुझे वो करना है जो मैं करना चाहता हूँ. मेरा कॉलिंग क्या है? And I was not able to find my calling. So I said, ठीक है, let it go with the flow. Let it go like that. I got selected in L&T. L&T में I got, so I was reporting to Mr. Anil Parab, who was the vice president of nuclear business that time. And because I was coming with the nuclear background, L&T absorbed me in the nuclear business only. I worked in various functions there, process excellence से लेके और shop floor में project manager से लेके, and then business development, marketing, sales activities, project management, portfolio heading, lot of businesses. So there I again could see a combination or the gelling of this helicopter view which SPJM gave me and the technology understanding which I was having at the time, that yes, I understand nuclear as a tech, I understand mechanical engineering as a tech, and then combining it with that helicopter view with the business perspective. So this gentleman, Mr. Anil Parab, was my boss. He was like, cool, grilling me like anything. I was the only one there who was coming from preschool, but he had very high expectations. I was like, 5 years I worked with L&T, I never appreciated that guy. After coming out of that, till today, I always appreciate. I actually understood what was his angle, and I understood that more when I started my own company. And then I started thinking, अच्छा ये आदमी इसलिए मुझे ऐसा बोलता था, ये आदमी इसीलिए मेरे को इतना ज़्यादा फोर्स करता था उस चीज़ में. So I appreciated him more and more outside L&T rather than within L&T. So I served L&T 5 years. I traveled across the globe, lot of good assignments. Even I was one of those fortunate who was part of the BD team, and I traveled in L&T's chartered plane with Mr. Kotwal, with Mr. Nayak, with the CEO of Rolls-Royce, with the top management team of General Electric, top management team of Hitachi, top management team of Areva. All these big short companies which were coming to India, they wanted to join hands with L&T. And I was the one who was taking them to all the facilities of L&T, the part of the BD. So traveling into chartered plane of L&T was like हर महीने कुछ ना कुछ आता था. And I was like, wow, this is the life. But then वहाँ से भी मुझे थोड़ा सा कुछ शॉक लगा, and then said कि यार ये कहीं ना कहीं मैं complacency में जा रहा हूँ, and I don't want to go there. So during those years, in the final year of my L&T, I got in touch with a philosophy called theory of constraint, where L&T was implementing theory of constraint and critical chain project management. And Dr. Goldratt, who is the father of this philosophy, he was associated with L&T. And there was another company called Realization Technologies, which was formed by Sanjeev, who is the founder of this company and comes from IIT Delhi. So Sanjeev ने एक बड़ा अच्छा काम किया था. संजीव ने 100 लोग हायर किए IIT दिल्ली से और उनको उठा के कैलिफोर्निया में बिठा दिया, और वहाँ पे वो लोग सब मिलके बड़ा अच्छा कोडिंग कर रहे थे. And they created a system which was implementing theory of constraint across the globe. So only software in the world which is a good software is Realization Technologies, which implement this philosophy. Sanjeev was founder there. I got in touch with this company. They hired me as a India portfolio head. I started working. That was a kicker for me. There I found another gentleman called Kapil Gupta, IIT Delhi guy. Went to US, completed his masters from there. So he was part of the realization team there. He was sent to India. He was creating his team. I was part of his team. He was another kind of a very harsh gentleman. Always tough on me. Always. I was like, hey, Kapil, come on, yaar. Matlab, we are almost same age. Why you are so tough on me? He was like, bhai, sales वाला काम ऐसे होता है. ये startup है. ये ऐसे है. ये वैसे है. I said, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. But his style and something, I learned a lot of good things there. I managed that portfolio. So at one point of time, I had more than 10 team members, all IIT and IIM grads, because Realization was taking only IITians. I was the only exception. I was a non-IITian there. Only IITians they were taking, and only IIMs wale. मैं अकेला exception था, and that too the leader of that team. And I was implementing the TOC there because we were charging a lot, so we wanted a good talent in our team. And somewhere I was the portfolio head, so I was good with managing the relations with the CEO of the company and going and pitching him and understanding the requirement and selling and all that. But everything, the team management, the invoice generation, the upselling, the cross-selling, the admin, the leave, the ladai, the jhagde, everything. I got the taste of the startup. And this was the time when I started thinking about the startup. I started thinking about my first venture, Zimbar. Zimbar started taking birth in 2012 and 13. And at the same time, one day I got a call from US. One of my ex-bosses from L&T, or a senior person, he called one day and he said, Kevin, you have done something in Realization. You understand this project execution thing. We have an opening here in Houston. We want someone to come and help us in creating a project execution office. I said okay. So अभी तक मैंने सारी चीजें कर ली थी बट किसी MNC में काम नहीं किया था, तो ये कहीं ना कहीं गैप रह गया था दिमाग में. तो I said यार Zimbar है,
ये भी कर लो.
अभी तो शुरू भी किया है, चलो मैं वहां जाता हूँ. I joined KBR and that was like a dream job for anyone. You know, you travel in business class, you live in Hilton, and nothing less than that. You are working 4 days in a week, not even 5 days, 4 days in a week. So that kind of job, and I was like, थोड़े दिन तो मजा आया. I traveled US, I called my family also, we enjoyed and all that. कुछ महीनों में बोर लगने लगा कि यार ये तो बहुत कम काम है और बहुत ज़्यादा ऐश है, तो ये तो नहीं जम रहा है. So then I took a turn. I started talking to my that time co-founder कि यार Zimbar को आगे बढ़ाते हैं. And then it was the day of 14th of August and 14, 15, 16 long weekend था August में, and I came to Mumbai. I locked me with my co-founder and couple of guys and said, let us take a final decision whether we are doing Zimbar or not. We took 3 days. We were out of the room. We decided we are doing. I resigned, he resigned, other guys they resigned. We started doing. And that was the time coming from corporate, mechanical engineering, other kind of technology and coming to software technology. इतना भी नहीं पता था फ्लिपकार्ट कैसे चलता है, उसके पास पैसे कहाँ से आते हैं, वो प्रॉफिटेबल भी है या नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं पता था. completely unaware. Then because पढ़ाई करने का कीड़ा था, चीज़ों को समझने की का जज्बा था, and the learning curve was always faster. So understood everything in detail in very quick format. Within first 6 months, we could secure decent amount of fund. We floated the first product, and you'll not believe, you know, that was the kind of time I was crafting or conceiving my first website of Zimbar. I was explaining my technology team the user flow, and मैं 1 साल तक वो करता रहा. और 1 साल बाद मुझे किसी ने बोला तुम्हारा प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर कौन है? I said वो क्या होता है? Is it someone who understands the user requirement and crafts it and communicates it? मैंने कहा वो काम तो मैं करता हूँ. अच्छा, तो you are the product manager? मैंने कहा मुझे नहीं पता प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर काम, ये वाला काम मैं करता हूँ, ये प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर का काम है, मुझे नहीं पता. He said,
मैं आज भी करता हूँ.
Exactly. So I did that and I realized that okay, this is the product manager job, and I was actually doing the product manager job also along with the COO role.
Right.
So I'm trying to explain that was the poor understanding. Digital marketing क्या होता है, product management क्या होता है, नहीं पता था. And still we dared to jump into something which was internet commerce. In 6 months we secured good amount of funds from a lot of angel investors, and within first 8 months we cracked our first Series A. Pre-series round we got IDG on board, and then we cracked after a couple of months Omidyar on board, then Sherpalo, Mohandas Pai Fund, Iron Capital, and couple of more, and that was the journey which started. So Zimbar we ran for 3 years, finally handed over to Quikr, served Quikr for almost a year. Completing my integration. In Quikr also I created a company within the Quikr umbrella, created a brand called Kudo, Pickup Drop Off.
Okay.
It was almost similar to Dunzo.
Okay.
So that also I built that within 3 months. Within first 6 months the brand was already doing 500 orders or more. So that was the interesting journey. And yeah, after that I was in market once again to explore my new next. I tried a lot. I thought that I will not do entrepreneurship once again. I will go back to corporate. I tried, but I was not getting anything interesting there. But then I tried a lot of startups. I will go and work in a startup in a senior position. I tried that, but wherever I went, I saw that these are kids. You know, I was already 40 plus by the time I said there. ये 30 साल के लड़कों के साथ तो मैं तो काम नहीं कर सकता, बड़ा प्रॉब्लम. You can work with me, but I cannot work with them. That's a challenge. And I was looking for a hum Umar type of founder, and hum Umar type founder मिलता नहीं आसानी से. So then I decided कि ठीक है, खुद का एक कंपनी बनाना पड़ेगा दोबारा. Have to employ yourself once again. So then the MSMX started.
Great, fantastic. I think lot to learn from every important milestone you two shared. And I think that's the most interesting part. Yeah. In fact, and then that's the most interesting part of my journey of writing this book and putting all this experience into one book. And is that what you see somebody on your first meeting, he could be a founder of a startup or could be an established brand. But when you talk and you go into layers and layers, how that individual has shaped up, right? How he has got clarity at various stages of his life, and one event, one statement from somebody can change your life, can change the direction of your thought process, right? And that's something very interesting to know and very interesting to share with people around that. And I'm sure you have a lot of interesting things to share and a lot of interesting stories to which people can correlate to it. I can correlate a lot of things. Like I was very bad in studies. In fact, I was hardly able to say just go through, and maths was the only thing where I was scoring almost near to 10%. And a lot of time I thought of quitting. Yeah, मेरे बस की नहीं है मुझे भी. But I started my venture when I was in class 12th only. So there's a lot to. So if we look into all these journeys of various entrepreneurs, we'll find a lot of similarities, not in terms of stories, but definitely in terms of events. Like you said that your boss who was in L&T, right? Initially when he was working with you, you're not able to understand why he is so much after you, and then one finally you realize, okay, how right he was, right? I hired my own boss once I quit my job and I started my venture. I was actually anti boss, but the moment I started my own business, you won't believe it, I hired my own boss to advise me. Right, so I still laugh that I am the one who can hire your own boss, and he was boss in my venture also. Like I never said that you are a advisor to me. I treated him like my boss only, and only two things which he taught me was that one, 9 means 9. that was the first thing. The second thing is what is the vision. But that made a lot of sense, and that did a lot of thing for us. So very interesting and very insightful story, Amit. Now I'll discuss with you a few problems which I've identified during my journey that.
Okay, so I do agree with you what you said, that entrepreneurship is not taken as a career. Those are so in some cases entrepreneurship is a choice out of that I couldn't do anything else. I couldn't get a job. I couldn't. So बोलते हैं ना, जॉब में भी जब
कुछ नहीं कर पाया तो ये कर लेगा.
जॉब में भी जब कोई जॉब नहीं मिलती है, चल टीचर बन जाते हैं. And that's how we know the quality of teachers what we have.
Absolutely.
So similarly here, when you are not able to do anything, चलो business तो कर ही लेंगे. But that kind of business mindset is a very anti-growth mindset. I'll tell you, I coach in my own sessions that there are two kinds of businesses. One is a cash machine business. Other is a wealth machine business. A cash machine business is where you are just focusing on cash. That every month you want cash. Why? Because you don't have legacy, you don't have investment. You are not seeing it with the high amount of vision and all. You want to meet your business expenses, your team expenses, your customer expenses, your product expenses, your own personal expenses, your family expenses. That's it.
Right.
And it is a ATM, cash machine, where you invest something, you give your time, and it gives you cash every month. But one day, for unforeseen black swan event or something happens, and if you have to sell your company, you can sell your company in piecemeal, individual asset basis, not as a single entity, because your company is not fundable. You're not creating a fundable company, which is the other definition of a wealth machine. A wealth machine is a company which may or may not make money, but it's creating an ecosystem, and there is a value in brand, there is value in customer base, there is value in team, there is a value in systems, processes, and the kind of ecosystem which you're creating, that as a single entity, no one see you as your how many laptops you have, what is the value of your office, and not on broken pieces.
Tangible asset, yeah. Right.
So it's a single unit. So that kind of business mindset is a wealth business mindset, and not everyone has that. Even the data proves that, and because I'm into MSME segment, I'll share that data point with you. 99.5% businesses in India are micro businesses for more than 12 years.
Absolutely.
For more than 12 years, more than a decade, they are still micro. And we say that 12 years before the economy was 1/3, and that time also all entire MSME segment was contributing to 30% of GDP, and today also it is 30% of GDP. And with all the due respect to government and Gadkari ji, when they say that we want this to be 50 or 60%, I don't see a plan that it can happen 50%. It will not happen naturally. If it has not happened naturally in last 12 years, it will not happen naturally. The economy may go to $5 trillion, no doubt. But the MSME segment share will remain 30%. It will not go to 50% because if we focus on the total number, we see the calculation that 99.5% are micro companies, 0.5% only are the small, medium and large companies. For creating this share to 50%, if you do a simple maths, you have to change this multiple times high. Multiple times high. This 0.5% equivalent जो contribution है, this has to change multiple times high. And changing a 500 crore company to multiple times high is difficult. Right. However, in the micro segment, if every company which is making 1 CR, they can easily convert to 5 CR.
Absolutely.
That is easy. So if you focus on 99.5% and grow that, that can definitely get you to that dream. Absolutely. Focusing on 0.5% will not get you that dream. Absolutely. So this is the challenge in the policy side. Now coming back to the internal challenge of an entrepreneur, because we start with the cash mindset, we are happy with that cash. And a cash mindset business is a business which is driven by the owner. It is close to the owner. Right. The moment you stay away from that, I explain it this way. दो तरह की चिड़िया होती हैं. एक होता है ईगल, 2-4 बार पर फैलाएगा, उसके बाद ऐसे करेगा और फिर बहुत देर तक ऐसे घूमता रहता है. एक होती है छोटी वाली चिड़िया, तो जब तक पर फड़फड़ाएगी तभी उड़ेगी. जब वो पर फड़फड़ाना बंद कर देगी, उसको कहीं ना कहीं बैठना होगा. वो नहीं रह सकती है. वो अगर एक जगह इकट्ठी भी होती है ना, तो भी वो पर फड़फड़ा के हेलीकॉप्टर की तरह है, हम घूमता रहेगा. तो दैट काइंड ऑफ बिजनेस इज वेरी मच डिपेंडेंट ऑन आपके फड़फड़ाने पे, जिसको हम अलग अलग भाषा में बोल सकते हैं कि डेली गड्ढा खोदो, डेली पानी पियो, डेली पर फड़फड़ाओ तभी चलेगा. वी हैव डिफरेंट डेफिनेशंस फॉर इट. बट core thing there is that it is a cash business which will run because of you only. Right. Until unless you change your style, it will not work there. Now this style is coming with ambition. Right. This style, here the objective is cash, here the objective is legacy. If I know that I can easily get a X amount of job outside in market, and if I'm only earning that, why should I work 3 times more? Why should I create a thing where I am only earning the same thing which I can earn by being a good employee? Right. I have to create that dent. I have to do something which is 20x, 30x, 50x of what I could have done as an employee. That kind of mindset is not there. Now, those people who evolve in that mindset, again, there are 2 things. There are startups which are coming on day one with that mindset. But then there are people who are evolving to that. People start as a self-employed or they give themselves a job like that and they operate that way. But within a year, they evolve. Within 2 years, within 3 years, they will evolve, and then they will understand, oh, this is not entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is different. Right. So in my language, I call these people as businessmen. Right. And these people are entrepreneurs. Not every entrepreneur is a businessman. Not every entrepreneur, every good, successful, profitable entrepreneur is a good businessman. But every good businessman is not an entrepreneur. Not an entrepreneur. There is a limitation there.
Very, very well said. Very well said on that. I think you have described it very, very beautifully on the entire challenges what we see. And so apart from, so one is that we expect some policy change from government or some, like how you said that focus should be on 99.5 rather than on 0.5 only. But apart from that, I think that is something which is external. Like in our language, there are 2 factors. One is external factor where we don't have any control. We can only hope that one fine day the right policy will come and right people will give the feedback and right people will implement and all that. All said and done, then as a member from the same community, what do you think? What need to be changed from to the Indian entrepreneur mindset? That how they need to think now, how they need to look the entire business model they are working on, how the whatever business they are doing it. What is the right amount of money they should look out of it, whether take like, so there are a lot of confusion in people's mind if I meet that someone say, okay, I don't get equity, I don't want to sell equity, I don't want to take loan, I want to, so there are a lot of confusion around it, right? So there is, because there is no science like written behind it, okay, what is right and what is wrong, right? Taking debt is the right strategy or wrong strategy, liquidating your equity is the right strategy or wrong strategy, whether you will get debt, whether you will, so there are multiple confusions are there.
Okay, so I call this, I'm going to correlate this with the business model because you use that term in between, and I'm a business model coach on my own platform, so I will correlate it with that. So within business model, when we study, there is something called desirability,
right?
Then there is something called feasibility, and then there is something called viability. Now, a good businessman which is focusing on cash, they will focus good amount on the viability. They will focus on feasibility also. Somewhere they lack in the desirability part. Right. And that desirability is all about the customer experience,
right?
Which comes from not only one side. It starts from selecting the right customer, to defining the good value proposition, to how you are going to be with them, how you are going to talk to them, and what are the channels through which you will acquire them, or what are the channels through which you will deliver the value proposition to them. Everything together is defining the desirability. Now, the problem that which I see, and I think that should be corrected there within the internal factor, is we should focus definitely on the viability and feasibility, but the primary focus is desirability. And if we are leaving desirability somewhere, not out of, or not in the focus, and leaving it out of the focus, we will not be able to do the right justice, because without desirability, we are not sustainable.
Right.
I call it this way: you can acquire the customer once if you are good at selling. You can acquire the customer once if you are good at selling, but you cannot force the customer to come to you again and again if there is no desirability.
Absolutely.
The desirability has to be designed in the business model. If you really want customer to come to you again and again, then the business model is successful.
I think that's the most beautiful part of the entire discussion with you, is that when you talk to someone like you who understand the entire ecosystem so well, you automatically pushed me to my next question, and this was my next question, that when you look into a lot of business model right now, especially macro and startup ecosystem, you look into that. Customer experience, while the founder know the importance of customer experience, there is no debate on that, right? They have all the intent to do it, but somehow they miss that to make that customer experience as the core of their business, and they take it as a separate strategy. Which say, okay, let me establish first, and then I'll look into it, right? Let me set my ABC right, and then I will look into it. And I think this is one of the most common mistakes which people do, and they end up failing at a model testing stage only. What are your thoughts on that? That why and how that customer experience need to be the center of the business, not a piece of the business which is been looked after you have established a business. What is your view on that? And I think other question which I'll club with this only is that I've seen a lot of founders, especially into tech space, who are coming from again engineering background, who have been obsessed with some idea, and they create some model around it, right? And since this is their own idea, this is their own product, they get so obsessed with their idea that when somebody gives them a feedback from market that this is not working or this need to be tweaked like this, they are not ready to accept it, right? They say, okay, they give you all revolutionary statement like market is not ready for my product, I'm too early, I'm ahead of time, right? But they will not tweak their model, right? And this actually ends up it could be a good product, but it ends up as a business model.
Okay, so there is one thing which I say to this MSME community and the startup community is, so if we get say 100 users which are approaching to us, approximate, if I say 100% user which are approaching to us, 80% plus are of that kind where they do not have a business model, they do not have a business plan, they do not have a financial, budget or anything like that, and they are doing business. Some people are lucky, they are able to create few crore businesses and they are able to make that cash machine. Some people are not lucky, they are not even reaching to that cash machine. They come, and I will tell you those incidents where people will come and say, sir 5 crore का turnover है और ऐसा problem हो गया है, अभी वैसा problem हो गया है, and then I say, okay, do you have a financial plan with you? Can you share that with me? नहीं sir, वो तो नहीं बना. Just imagine a 5 crore rupee turnover business, they don't have a financial plan. Can you believe it? When I ask the first question, okay, what is your business model? कहीं से धुआं निकलना शुरू हो जाता है.
क्या पूछ रहे हो?
What is the business model? What is this term? And I say, okay, forget some term. Can you explain me what you do? Can you explain me in 5 minutes what exactly do you do? Who is your customer? Why your customer is coming to you? How do you acquire them? How do you deliver the value to them? What are the things you have which others don't have, through which you are creating this desirability? How you make it feasible? And what is your viability in the system? And what is this overall? Who can you give me answers around this? No, there are no answers because कभी सोचा नहीं.
Right.
कभी सोचा नहीं है, तो वहाँ पे वो पहला चैलेंज शुरू हो जाता. So the first thing there is that whoever is doing, I always say that you guys have to do something which is for free before investing money. And free is planning.
Right.
Planning is free.
Absolutely.
And anything which is negligibly priced, I am calling it free. Your time may be valuable, but use it for planning. Before you start any business, spend 3 months in planning. Now, there are people who are spending 3 years also, and I say you will not be able to do it because you are doing too much. You are thinking about planning. You will never be able to leave your job. You will never be able to come out your existing business and will not be able to start because you are doing too much. Some people are like, they are jumping in 3 hours, in 3 days. 3 दिन में वो करके, that is also too early. The optimal time is 2 to 3 months in planning. What you should do, think of your business model, not in air. Write it down. Discuss it with experts as much as possible. Don't go to those people who are like your mother. बोले मेरा बच्चा बहुत अच्छा कर रहा है, सब बढ़िया चल रहा है. They will not show you the mirror. For your mother, she will never find your fault. Don't go to those people also who are like jealous of you and they will criticize you. Go to people who will give you constructive feedback. Go to those people. This can be professional experts or friends or any of the colleagues or anyone. But go to those people, take feedback. That is the business model side. Then second is, at the same time, create a good financial plan. Because the financial plan actually helps you understand and create a financial plan which is in deep. Not that kind of financial plan. When I ask the question, sir, financial plan नहीं है लेकिन मुझे मैथ्स पता है. मैं बोलो अच्छा क्या है? ऐसे, some numbers coming from this side, some numbers coming from this side, and they will tell me. I say, okay, either you are Shakuntala Devi kind of genius where I'm not understanding how you do this maths, but it is not in front of you. And when maths is in front of you, how will you explain it to everyone? How will you convince your team? How will you convince yourself? How will you review and check yourself whether what you are doing is right? And the last thing is a proper business plan or a pitch deck, what we call, which tells you the entire story. Where you explain everything. And I always say, don't make a pitch deck for investor. Make it for you as investor in your own business. And you get tremendous amount of clarity. Do this exercise for 3 months. Then you jump into it. Then you spend your first money. Before that, don't spend your first money. If they do this exercise continuously, it has happened with me. I have started within first month, I scrapped the idea. Not good. I again started. I took 2 months, I scrapped the idea. I again started. I took 3 months, 4 months, I scrapped the idea. But what I saved is money. I didn't invest. I wasted my time. I agree. वो तो वैसे भी करना ही है. वो तो वैसे भी करना है. But I saved the money. And I saved that potential money which I could have spent in market. And I saved the potential money of that bank loan which I could have taken. I saved the potential money of those investors जिनका पैसा मैं ले सकता था because मेरी face value पे पैसा मिल जाएगा. लेकिन मैं उस पैसे को justify कर पाऊंगा या नहीं, ये मुझे confidence नहीं. So until unless we are doing this basic planning, we are not supposed to launch the business.
Awesome, Amit. I think you made very valid points. And so my next question is like how you said that the planning gives you clarity, and clarity is very important in any business. And if you go back to the education system which we have, like you told that you started with UP board, and then so from UP board to SP Jam, right? And if you look into that with respect to all the institutions we have in India or even abroad, right? They don't teach you what you need on entrepreneurship, right? And still, like how mental sickness is still something which people don't talk about it, and they don't want to go to doctors. They don't treat it as a disease. Similarly, that lack of clarity in business, as an entrepreneur, people don't want to accept that they have that lack of clarity, and then they don't seek advice from the expert. So, and I still see that people hesitate in taking a coach. Okay, yaar, hame koi sikhayega, especially then, like moment, I think you must be knowing better than me that you are into the business. That okay. Somebody at say 58 years of age or 60 years into business, or maybe around 50 in the business, and then you talk, okay, there's Amit who can tell you about your business model. Okay, who Amit? What is his age? Right? So, and they will question your credibility before understanding that, okay, whether you can add value to it or not. So, taking advice to have more clarity, to have a more controlled business model or controlled business within your span.
Okay, so there are two kinds of problems which we see in the business community. Right. The first kind of problem, I call it a painkiller problem, pain kind of problem, and second kind of problem I call it vitamin problem. Right. A pain problem is a problem where you are anyway going to consult someone. You don't have choice. Right. You are anyway actively seeking someone because you have a pain. कोई नोटिस आया हुआ है, कहीं पे आग लग गई है, कहीं पे कुछ प्रॉब्लम है और वो आपको बॉदर कर रही है, सोने नहीं दे रही है, एंड दैट्स अ पेन. फॉर दैट यू आर लुकिंग, यू कैन टेक अ सेरेडॉन, you can take a aspirin, you can take a Disprin, you can apply balm, you will do anything. You want a solution for that. That's a pain problem. For right. Pain problem, people look out for experts. But then there are vitamin problems where you don't know whether the problem exists. You have right. to be told by someone. In your mind, you have to be transformed. So I'll give you an example. I remember I talked to a user last year. I said, okay, this is what it is. He said, sir, बढ़िया चल रहा है, अपना ट्रेडिंग का बिजनेस है, कंप्यूटर्स में डील करते हैं, इधर से लेते हैं, उधर देते हैं, सब चल रहा है. मैं बोला, okay, what is your turnover? कर लेते हैं सर, 1.5 करोड़, 1.25 करोड़ हो जाता है. Okay, good. So where do you see that you have a challenge? नहीं, कोई challenge नहीं है. बोला, अच्छा, you don't see any problem in your business? नहीं सर, बढ़िया चल रहा है, सब कुछ, कोई problem नहीं. I said, okay. Since how long your business is at 1.5 CR? चल रहा है सर अपना तो 5-6 साल से बढ़िया चल रहा है, यही है. I said, don't you see that this is a challenge? That for the last 5 years you are still at 1 CR, 1.5 CR turnover? And it was like silence. This is a vitamin issue. Right. Until unless, if you are obese and visible obese, if you have dark circles, if you are not able to sleep, you have problem. It's a pain. You will go and talk. Right. But what if you are only 5 kilogram obese, 5 kilogram overweight, not obese? What if right. you cannot walk up to 2 floors or 3 floors? What if you cannot do 10 push-ups? What if you cannot do single pull-up also? Single pull-up. Right. There are people, and that's a problem. But right. people will not notice that because there's a vitamin problem. ये प्रॉब्लम विटामिन वाला जब तक पेन में कन्वर्ट नहीं होता है, लोग एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते. So
Absolutely.
what we this thought that there is pain problem ke liye we don't have to go anywhere, people come to us. But for vitamin problem ke liye, we came up with a 3P model, where in the first P we know that there is a mental state, I don't know that I don't know. When I don't know that I don't know anything about it, I don't even know what to ask. So that's a stage of a lack of awareness. We introduce workshops, power series, sessions, webinars, and we introduce them to new topics. From there, they come to next stage, which is, I know that I don't know. I know that I don't know. I need to ask. Now, यहाँ पे challenge चालू होता है. Those who are positive mindset, they will go out and ask. Those who are stubborn mindset, they will still not accept. Right. So the positive mindsets are high energy and early adopters, and we get them. जब ये लोग आके उसको सीख के थर्ड स्टेज पे जाके यूज करके ग्रो करेंगे, तो ये लोग जिन्होंने माइंडसेट बनाया था जो पीछे चले गए हैं, they will learn from their growth and they will come back. And this we have seen always. In every industry, it always starts with early adopters and then the latecomers enter because they want to see evidence. Some people visualize the evidence. It's like entrepreneur is seeing something in future. Now these people also, it's a transformation in their mind, the early adopters. They will see something and they will start visualizing कि यार ये तो सोचा नहीं था, मैं ये कर सकता हूँ, वो कर सकता हूँ, मुझे ऐसे हेल्प करेंगे वैसे, and then they start seeing a future. Some people want कि नहीं यार पहले तुम करो, थोड़ा सा रिस्क एवर्स हैं कि पहले तुम करो हम देखेंगे, but they will also come back. Right. So this is how we try to address this. Now coming to that thing where whether people are right expert or not, yes, as an entrepreneur we need to have that much of understanding to select the right people for us. The way I said, it's like don't go to those people who will not give you the right thing, who will not show you the mirror. If they are goody with you, they are not right people. If they are feeling too much of negativity in you, they are also not right people. The right advisors are who will listen to you, will show you the mirror, will tell you the reality, and will tell you in a constructive way so that you see something better. And in one or two interactions, you will be able to understand whom you are going well with. So you don't land up in too much of risk by getting to advisor. Don't try to select the advisor that जब तक मुझे best advisor नहीं मिलेगा, I will not go. No, talk. Right. Talk. It is like selecting a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Talk. Right. Unless you interact with 10 people, you don't know who are those 2 good people who can actually help. So trial is the only version, or trial is the only way. If you don't want to do trials, come to MSMX because we have done that trial for you already. We have done that exercise of basic filtration, that these are the people who are having credentials, they are available, they are qualified, and they are inclined to solve your problem and they fit into your budget. Right.
Perfect. I think you have a lot of clarity, and I think people who will be watching this will understand that importance of getting clarity, and then hiring a right expert or talking to a right expert can save a lot of time, money, and energy, and can help you leap faster in your business models and whatever challenges, whether it's a pain or it's a vitamin issue that can be solved. I really love the analogy which you created out of this pain and vitamin. I think I'll be using it a lot of time now. Thank you for giving me these jargons. And so we are left with 2 questions now. One, I think in short, if you have to just sum up, okay.
So I say this, that for every entrepreneur in the business model, I know that they focus a good amount, especially the traditional mindsets, they focus on feasibility because they're good in execution. They're good in execution, they know how to get things done. Saam, dam, dand, ved lagake, they will get it done. So they're good with feasibility. Somewhere for the early stage, even if they are not doing maths on Excel, they know the viability part of also. And that's why they are at least able to do the cash machine. Right. But if they are not focusing on the desirability, which is selecting the right customer, going to the right value proposition, identifying the right customer relationship management, the channels through which you acquire, you deliver, you are not impacting on the desirability side, they will not be able to make it a scalable or a futuristic business. So the first thing is that being that kind of entrepreneur, because the customer experience or the overall consumer desirability starts with the leadership thing. So own it first. Make it a culture in your own company. Make it a culture in your own company, and don't do it for the sake of it, just because someone said it. Own it, because if you own it, you are making a sustainable business model. And
awesome, right?
In this journey, we also have to understand one thing, that not everyone who is going to pay us is our customer. Not everyone who needs this is our customer. Selecting the right customer is important. I follow that approach, that getting customers on board is like creating a community. So for us, customer, team, investor and founders, all are important. And if it is not a win-win-win-win, it is not going to be a sustainable thing. If it is only for customers, you are giving too many discounts, you are screwing up on the investors, and ultimately you will get screwed up. But your customers will enjoy. If you are, not delivering that right value, customer will come, pay you once, you will make high margin, but they will not come to you next time. You will not be able to go viral, and in that case, short run you may make money, but in long run you will not be able to do it. So exactly win-win-win-win situation is important. So make something which is good for all, and select your customers wisely, which are fitting into the right TG. And when we go for TG, I say, for selecting the right customer, focus on the attribute, the attitude, and the actions of the customer.
Wow.
Attribute is the physical demographic of the customer. The attitude is the psychography of the customer. And the actions is the behavioral aspect of the customer. It's easy to select the right psychography, because you can select it in your campaigns. But it is difficult to select the right psychography, attitude, and the action behavior of the customer. And once you understand that, and if you are able to attract the like-minded customers towards yourself, then you are creating a like-minded community where everyone is appreciating each other's effort. So you are not allowing anyone who is paying you in that community. You are allowing the right customers only, who are like-minded and like your solution, and you also like to serve them. That kind of community.
Great. Fantastic, Amit. I think you defined it very, very well. And an entrepreneur need to build his community, which is where everybody wins, I think, and keeping your 3A in mind to choose your right customer so that you can have win-win for everyone. I think very, very, very beautifully defined, and loved your description. In fact, I'm now a big fan of your analogies and example which you create. And so that's wonderful. And so moving on to my last question, and which is which is of my personal interest, basically, which I want to know from Amit now, is that the moment you heard about the name of the book, which I think we'll talk about, what came into your mind, and then your definition of Junoon, Jurat and Jugaad.
Okay, so the first thing came to my mind that this is going to be something which is very practical. It's like, and I'm going to correlate that with, I was not good at studies in school, but the moment I saw engineering, I got attracted towards it, because somewhere I like things which can be applied. The implied or the application science is always attractive towards me. So the moment I saw this title, this name, it sounded to me like, okay, this is going to be something practical, real life, no theoretical or management gyan. Because I'm not a big fan of that management gyan always. I like studies, but if it is not applied. So information, knowledge, and then application. Application is the thing which makes everything important. So I saw a lot of application in the title and this. So this is what I thought. So Junoon is obviously required. It's the mindset which comes in. Jugaad, I call it, let's polish it slightly more and you say jugaad, which is leading to you towards innovation, not only keeping you at the jugaad. A jugaad can be a time being solution for you, but you are not stopping at jugaad. You start with jugaad and then take it. So jugaad is your MVP. But then you take it to the next level and make it an innovation so that it goes to the next level. Yeah. So the jugaad, the junoon, and the third one I missed.
Jarurat.
Jarurat, yes, and jarurat is the desirability of that the customer, because आपने जुनून लगाया, आपने जुगाड़ लगाया, आपने उसको बनाया, बट अगर उसकी जरूरत ही नहीं है तो आप क्या करोगे? तो मेरे उसमें अगर मैं बोलूं तो डिजायरेबिलिटी इज योर जरूरत, जुगाड़ इज योर फिजिबिलिटी, एंड जुनून इज द वायबिलिटी. You fit it into the business model and give it back to you.
I think you guessed it almost right. So I think very few people are able to guess it almost on the same line. So thank you for understanding that entire concept, and thank you for appreciating the title. And once again, thank you for giving so much insight. Not too much to add on to my book now, and to share with the entire community with which we are showcasing this interview and the book also. And we wish all the best to MSMEX, to Amit and team, and look forward from a lot of solutions, a lot of clarity to people to grow multifold and to grow their businesses to next level. And thanks a lot once again. Thanks, Amit. Bye bye. Take care.